أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another lesson of the AMYN curriculum series of Book 7 Part 1. Quick review of Surah Al-Máarij, The Ways of Ascent, Book 7 Part 1, Unit 5, Lesson 3. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear students, and inshallah bi'idhnillah, today's lesson is a very short one indeed, and I just wanted to touch base on the surah that we have done previously, which is Surah Al-Máarij, The Ways of Ascent, before we move on to the next surah in the future lessons, which is Surah An-Nuh. Now I'd like to take this opportunity and remind us, my dear students, that we have the opportunity now to memorize this surah. And this surah is an important surah, and we have looked at this surah of different parts, and to be precise, we have looked at this surah of 4 different parts. And this surah, as we have learned before, entails or contains important lessons for us to take. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the characteristics, some of the characteristics of the disbelievers and of the believers as well, and some of the descriptions of the day of judgment as well. So there are numerous lessons that we can take from this surah, and it is a surah that we can often recite in our prayers as well. So and is not a long surah, so we can easily memorize and remember the meaning as well. So in today's lesson, I'd like to remind us to memorize this surah, my dear students. And first and foremost, there's different ways that you can do it. If you were in the classroom, that we would have listened to you and corrected your mistakes while you are reciting the surah. But given that this is not possible, what you can do, one of the ways that you can do it, if your parents or your brothers, your elder brothers or elder sisters are well versed with the surah, you can maybe seek help from them. So ask them to recite the surah for you. You recite after them, and then you recite the surah to them once you are comfortable, and get them to fix any of your mistakes. And once that is done, then you can try and memorize the surah, and then relay or recite the surah again to them, and see if you've recited the surah without any mistakes. Now, for some reason, if this is not possible, then you can always go to resources such as Quran.com online, and you can pick your favorite reciter from there, and you can go verse by verse. As they recite, you recite, and see if you make any mistakes, and memorize the surah that way. Now, once you've memorized it, also go over through each verses and try and contemplate and remember or revise the basic meaning of these verses. So once you are reciting, try and see if you can remember the meaning of these verses. That is the main objective of this short lesson today, is to remind myself and you to memorize the surah, and also to contemplate and ponder upon the basic meaning of the surah. Inshallah bi'idhnillah, in the future lessons, then we will look at Surah An-Nuh. وجزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.